Self-sabotage is self-destruction. What you don't realize is that self-sabotage is actually a frequency that will continuously corrupt the frequency that you're attempting to materialize, which hopefully is your desired reality. You have to come to an understanding that as you embark on the journey to materializing your desired reality, there's going to be times where you feel like you keep going back into the same cycles. You keep doing shit that you know you have no business doing. But at the same time, it feels like it's something that's out of your control. And what you don't realize is that self-sabotage in of itself is a frequency that will literally destroy your desired reality. As you can see, our boy here, explosion at the top of his head, bum right there. You know what I'm saying? So, and essentially, it's really a game of outsmarting that frequency of self-sabotage, because until you do, unfortunately, all your work will be in vain. So let's outsmart the frequency of self-sabotage so you can get yourself out of the way to actually materialize your desired reality, as I'm sure you want to be doing, because spirituality without the ability to control your reality is vanity. I'm Mr. Too Slippery, nigga. You with the fucking sharks? I'm with the fish. Oh, here we go.
You know what? Shout out to all the people donating, even though they actually don't need to.
People donate.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys are funding my alcohol addiction. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Somebody actually commented once, or they DM'd me on Instagram saying something along the lines of, how have you managed to grow nearly over 250,000 subscribers in less than 6 months without ever asking for a single subscriber? No, we've never asked.
That's mad, isn't it?
Never said, welcome to my channel, guys, like and subscribe. That's no disrespect to anybody who does, but it's mentally, and I don't ask. Remember, guys, you can't change an effect by changing an effect. People can ask for subscribers and they can ask for this, but if mentally they're in a state where they don't have it, that's all they're going to materialize due to the annoying law of the universe, which is you can only have what you already have. So I don't need to ask. Mentally, I've declared it, which is the true prayer. True prayer isn't asking, it's a declaration, because anything you ask for is something you don't have, and you can only have what you already have. But hey, what do I know? So, first things first, I'm the realist. You know that song?
Yeah.
First things first, I'm the realist.
What's that, Iggy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go. You thought I wouldn't know? Come on now.
You have your moments. You have your moments.
I'm alive, guys. I'm a real person.
All right, guys. Self-sabotage. Let's see where it all begins. First, you have to understand something. You have to understand something very important. And that is, your desired reality is a new frequency. Which means in order for you to enter your desired reality, you will have to replace the current frequency that you have. But what you don't have an understanding of is that your current reality, or reality so that you're trying to escape, so I'll put current/old reality. What you don't realize is that that is also a frequency. Now, one thing that I'm going to have to break down here, which is an esoteric/occult concept, is a concept known as egregores. Now, egregores comes from the Greek word watchers, and it was a reference to entities that were in the book of Enoch, which is one of the gospels out of the Bible. And I've read all the missing gospels of the Bible, Judas, Mary Magdalene, Thomas, Enoch, so on and so forth. And Enoch is also known as Thoth, and also known as Hermes, Mercury to the Romans, and Prophet Idris in the Quran, peace be upon him. But egregores are essentially an entity. You have to understand that entities, when I say entities, I just mean an organism without a physical body. An organism without a physical body. That's what an entity is, also known as an egregore. And it's important you come to this understanding, because oftentimes when people begin to embark on materializing their desired reality, they begin to experience a level of adversity that they can't really conceptualize why or how to deal with it. And unfortunately, until you know how to deal with these entities, and when I say entities, I don't mean it in a nigga Illuminati conspiracy video sense. I mean this in an energetic sense, because the whole point of what I'm trying to say is your current/old reality is a frequency. That frequency is an entity, and now it's an entity that exists, and it's an entity that exists built upon your current reality. So every particular condition that you're attempting to move out of has created a spiritual version of you. Think about it like a doppelganger, right? A doppelganger, identical copy of you that exists in the spiritual plane. Remember, there's 3 planes of existence: mental, physical, spiritual. So why does it feel like when I try to do better, things go worse? Why does it feel like when I try to do everything, nothing changes? Why do it feel like when I take one step forward, there's another step back that I have to take? And it's due to the fact that you don't understand that your current/old reality is an actual entity that exists. Now, this entity is built upon thought forms. And the easiest way to conceptualize thought forms is a combination of mental and emotional energy. Mental and emotional energy that is powerful or being consistently repeated creates thought forms. Thought forms are like stones. So if you think about it like this, on average, we have between 4 to 60,000 thoughts a day. And if you imagine every thought to be a stone that you drop, in a couple of days, you'd have quite a big, almost pillar type thing. In a couple weeks, couple months, those stones that you consistently repeat would become fucking mountains. And when it becomes a mountain, it quite literally gains an existence of its own. And that's something that's important to note. These entities have an existence of their own. It's like a blind intelligence. I don't want you to think that this thing hates you or it's against you or anything like that, because you should not moralize the universe. This is simply how the universe works. It's simply the mechanics of the universe. It's a blind intelligence. It has no beef with you. It wants to do nothing except the purpose of what it was created. And that's always going to be dependent upon what you gave birth to it out of. This thing just wants to exist and nothing more. I repeat, it just wants to exist and nothing more. Listen to what I'm saying. Say it with me. It just wants to exist and nothing more. And until you have the capability of being able to maneuver your old frequency, you'll be taken back to your old reality every single fucking time without understanding why. Your old/current reality gives birth to a frequency, which is an entity which is created out of thought forms, combination of mental and emotional energy that's repeated. I'll give you an example. So let's say you're like, oh, why is it always me, man? Why is it always me? It never goes right for me. You run for the bus driver drives off. You're like, why me, man? Something goes wrong, a bird poos on you. You're like, why me, man? Why me? That consistent thought repeated with that combination of mental and emotional energy now gives birth to an entity called why me. The entity is called why me, and guess what it fucking exists for? To make you continuously say why me? Why? Because that's what you created it out of, with a combination of your mental/emotional energy. You gave birth to this entity now that has one purpose: to exist. And it wants to exist on the basis of what it was brought into the spiritual plane to do, which is to say why me. And this can be extrapolated to people who believe that they're unlucky. Things never go right for me. I'm unlucky. It never works for me. Life's not fair. Guess what? That consistently repeated due to a form of thought forms, mental and emotional energy. You now give birth to an entity that follows you around like a Shinigami from Death Note, literally on your back wherever you go, swaying the conditions of your reality to reflect what it was created out of. And it's important you come to this understanding, because your old reality, or the reality that you're trying to shift from, it has its own version of these. And we should conceptualize this as your old frequency. What does this have to do with self-sabotage, Nero? Relax, you're gonna get some. Just keep your pants on, yeah? Keep your pants on. Your old frequency is quite literally an entity that wants to do one thing: exist. Another way of conceptualizing existing is maintaining. So it wants to keep you in the very same circumstance that you're going out of. This is why when you feel like you're taking one step forward, something pulls you back. This is why you feel like when you're trying to do better, why do things get worse? It's because there's this entity that doesn't want to leave. And because it doesn't want to leave, it begins to play a game of psychological games on you to make sure that you begin to destroy your potentiality of shifting from your old frequency to your new frequency in your desired reality. It's all you. It's always been you. So now, self-sabotage, what does this have to do? Well, there's 3 aspects of self-sabotage. There's 3 reasons why you're self-sabotaging. And yes, I'll give you all of them, and I'll tell you how to defeat all of them so you can finally stop self-sabotaging. But the first thing is this. And the first thing is that you have to understand that your old frequency wants to stay here. Why does it want to stay in there? Because you created it. You created it. You created it. You brought it into existence. So now it's like, no. Where you going? No. We're staying together. because now you've given birth to me. And bear in mind, your old frequency is built on the basis of every single experience that you've went through and every single particular condition, event, circumstance, situation, and person that you've ever experienced in your old reality that you no longer align with. All those low points, it was there for you. All those high points, it was there for you. And now essentially you're trying to say to it, let's break up. And it's like, no. What, you thought you could break? It's like You from Joe. You watched You? It's like my man. He's not letting you go, right? And it begins to do something that's very, very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. Let me show you what it does. It is part of the large reason as to why people self-sabotage without knowing. And until you know these reasons, listen, you can go watch the videos you want. You can make all those notes, do all those practices. But when that level of adversity comes around and you don't know how to deal with it, then what you don't realize is that you'll be taken on a one-way trip straight back to your old reality. It's a game of offense and defense, guys.
Imagine, I'm on the copyright section of our channel. And there's people making reaction videos to your videos.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No ways. That's crazy.
It's wild. It's wild.
Well, thank you to all those people. That's crazy.
And there's also someone called, well, I'm not going to say their name actually.
Yeah.
There's someone uploading your exact video, but removing the dead space, like all the empty gaps where you're not speaking, it's just cut.
No ways.
And he calls it exactly the same thing, but he just puts edited at the end.
Wow.
I'm just like,
that's a different level of dedication, hard work plus patience. Shout out Nipsey Hussle, man.
Shout out 50 Cent, man.
What does that have to do with anything?
What does Nipsey Hussle have to do with anything?
Dedication, hard work. Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. Oh, you haven't heard Dedication?
I have.
Rap it, then rap it.
I just don't know the words. I just don't know the words like that.
This ain't entertainment. It's 4 niggas on a slave ship. These soldiers, spirituals, swapping against the waves. Ended up on shore to the amazement. I hope the example I set's not contagious. Couple mil total world. You don't know, do you? It's alright. It's normal for you. No one has any expectations from you now, mate.
Bro,
Anywho,
let's not do this.
Focus. So, your old frequency begins to do something that is very, very sneaky. Like I said, it begins to play a psychological chess game, hence why you feel like you're always a step behind, because you don't know how to outsmart it. But I'm about to show you how to do so, and I'm going to show you how it kind of triggers you into self-sabotaging your progress before you've even gone anywhere. Now, understand, your old frequency, because it's a living entity, because it's a living being, it begins to experience emotions to the same capacity as you. It is a spiritual doppelganger version of you. But its emotions are on the basis of its existence. So borrow that down. And the reason I say that is because when its existence becomes a question, it begins to get scared. When you start doing all this stuff, you start meditating, you're no longer reacting to the people that would piss you off. You're no longer perceiving things through a negative standpoint. You're no longer being triggered to the way that you were before. It's like, hold on. What's going on here? What's going on here? It feels itself quite literally evaporating, quite literally dissolving. And it's like, nah. Like this fear, because my existence is in the question, because this person has embarked on a new path. So it will take that degree of fear as you're moving forward. Pay very close attention to what I said. It will take that fear as you're moving forward and project that fear onto you. It will take that fear that it has, since its existence is hanging in the balance, and it will project that fear onto you. So guess what? You begin to feel fear and associate it with moving forward. Pay very close attention to what I just said. The moment you begin elevating and changing things and not moving the way that you was moving before and aligning yourself with your desired reality, the true definition of manifestation, as I always say, is manifestations internally shifting to a degree to which you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. I repeat, manifestation is internally shifting to a degree to which you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. Once you get to that point and you begin to walk that path like this,
That's how you walk.
I don't know why I walked like that. It was like a soldier march. It was like a soldier march.
Like a robot.
Like a robot.
Yeah.
I'm never being those allegations, am I?
Never.
It begins to project that fear onto you, so you associate fear with moving forward. Translation, you begin to associate fear with success. And when your mind unconsciously has fear associated with success, as a way to avoid fear, what will it avoid, AJ? I hope you guys are paying better attention than him. As a way to avoid fear, it will avoid success. Because fear and success are one to the old frequency. The old frequency is afraid of your success. It's not really afraid of your success, it's afraid of a difference. It's a different particular frequency that it's afraid of. So as a result, what it will do is project fear onto you, so you begin to internalize that fear with moving forward. So then when you think about moving forward or thinking anything that would better your life or improve your life, for some reason it feels uncomfortable. For some reason it's like, there's a particular degree of fear. Why? And it's your old frequency projecting that on you, so you begin to internalize that. Because the moment you begin to internalize an emotion, something dangerous happens in the universe. A base mechanic of the universe is what I call the magic M of the universe, and that is magnify. The moment you begin to internalize a particular emotion, so let's say fear, that fear is now yours. So now the universe's purpose is to magnify that fear through people, conditions, circumstances, and events to make you feel more fearful. So then things will start to go wrong at the moment you begin to do better, because without realizing unconsciously, you're already feeling fear, which your old frequency projected onto you, you internalized, and the universe then magnified. That was a bar that down. And then as you're walking through your life, things are going left and you're not knowing why. It's not going why because you tapped into fear. And fear is a beacon of light for what you don't want to confine you. Job 3:25. God's most loyal servant lost it all. Why? Because what he said esoterically right here, for what I've greatly feared has come upon me. And that's what the old frequency does. Because then when those things come upon you, you're going to think to yourself, what the fuck am I even trying to elevate for? Fuck this shit. Am I watching this? Am I watching some nigga on YouTube with a English accent wearing a do-rag and a wife beater and some shades? Who even wear shades indoors? Why am I even trying this? Without realizing that somewhere unconsciously, fear became associated with success. So anytime you strive for success, you strive for fear. But then your mind says, I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be afraid. So it avoids that fear. And it avoids that success because it has that fear associated with success. And your mind doesn't want to be afraid. But then it's like, fuck it, what choice do I have? I need to move forward anyway. So then you move forward anyway, it's not realizing that fear and success are attached. And then boom, magnify. Job 3:25, what I've greatly feared has come upon me. And through all your progression and through all your elevation, for some reason, it's just not ticking. So why would it begin to self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is because it says, when I move forward, I feel scared. Let me not move forward, so I don't want to feel scared. Because fear is a very powerful emotion. It's an evolutionary emotion. We needed it to survive and evolve, because if you saw a saber-toothed tiger and you were afraid, you'd be lunch meat. You'd be dinner. It'd be the Last Supper. No Judas. Hence why it will destroy whatever chance you have at succeeding, so it doesn't feel fear. Whole time you're afraid anyways. Whole time you're afraid anyways, and you internalize that fear unconsciously. The universe magnifies it, and then boom. So, how do I defeat the old frequencies game, Nero? Relax. You're gonna get some. I'll show you, but this is only 1 out of 3, guys. This is only 1 out of 3. Make sure you drop these notes in the comments per usual. Somebody actually asked for this video and I liked it. So I said, you know what? I'll do it. Somebody also asked me to go and pop the balloon for whatever reason. I don't even know why you have me associated with that to no degree.
Oh, so what did you say to me earlier? I was trying to get you a pen. Here you go, buddy. You said something about fear, success.
Yeah, oh, when you weren't paying attention?
No, I was getting the pen. I was a bit occupied.
You were literally scrolling through your phone, watching TikToks on mute.
Occupied.
Watching TikToks on mute like a fucking NPC. That's what the spiritual niggas would say about you. If they saw us after we record these videos just scrolling on TikTok for like 2 hours. Some of you guys would find it very hard to believe that I'm the same guy who talks all this stuff if you ever met me in person, honestly. I can't keep your hands on me. Touch me right there, right my body. I can't keep my hands on you. Your body is my party. Step number 1. Awareness that the fear is not yours. That's the first thing you need to do. What you're going to have to do is to begin to isolate the old frequency from the new frequency. And the old frequency is going to be anything in your head that stands in direct contradiction and opposition towards your desired reality. And at sometimes it may sound even logical and rational. What that sounds like, I can't tell you because I'm not in your head. I see you. Okay, no. Quite literally though, awareness is the first step. And the reason for that is because without awareness, there's no potentiality for transformation. You can't do anything until you first become aware of the fear that you have associated when you begin to embark on things. And this can be extrapolated to whatever you're trying to materialize. Let's say you're trying to get into healthy relationships and there's part of you that wants to run away from this perfectly good for you individual. Awareness is the first step. Instead of thinking, I'm afraid, it's not you. It's actually your old frequency that quite literally likes toxic bullshit and is projecting that onto you. So you associate that good person with something to be afraid of. So you stay away from that good person and stay within the paradigm of the old frequency. This could even be a case for money, for example. You may be scared to begin to, I don't know, let's say start saving money. Please extrapolate this to whatever. And you know, when you begin moving forward, what your mind begins to associate with fear. This could be a complete change in your lifestyle. This could be not crashing out on people. This could be something in business. This could be something in relationships. This could be something in money. Either way, your mind begins to associate fear with moving forward. The first thing you need to do is to become aware that what you're feeling, that fear isn't yours. That fear belongs to the old frequency. And because it belongs to the old frequency and it's not yours, you have now isolated that frequency and separated yourself from it. And now because you've isolated and separated that frequency, you then now understand the game. You can see like, you're trying to make me afraid of moving forward, so I stay here. The moment you do that, that level of awareness changes the entire paradigm of the game, because it wants to wrap you in its tornado and get you caught up in its whirlwind so you don't see clearly. But now the fact that you see clearly, it's not going to be the same. So now in instances where you actually do begin to feel that particular degree of fear, I need you to move forward, but you need to move forward by utilizing the polarity of fear, which is courage. So long as you maintain that particular degree of fear, it will then magnify, and the universe will give you conditions that only magnify that particular degree of fear through people, circumstances, conditions, situations, and events. You need to step with courage, which is the energetic polarity of fear, because the moment you do that, that's how you actually transmute it entirely. And the way that you go about doing that is by understanding that fear and courage are the same energy. The only difference is their rate of vibration. Rate of vibration. And because the only difference is the rate of vibration, if you're over here on the fear side and you want to move over to the courage side, the only thing you need to change is your rate of vibration. Your rate of vibration is always dependent upon one thing, and that's your concentration. You need to begin to concentrate on the desired reality that you want to move towards, as opposed to what is going to happen if you don't. Because oftentimes we kind of get ourselves into this mental genjutsu. If you don't know what do you know what a genjutsu is, AJ?
Sounds like some anime stuff.
Yeah, it's like never mind. If you get yourself into an illusion or a trap, it's a thing from Naruto. If you get yourself into a genjutsu where you're basically in a box and you're in a trap, you don't even realize it, then you begin to start being upset that you can't move forward. And then that brings on a bunch of overthinking that you don't particularly need. But you need to concentrate on the desired reality by tapping into courage and understanding that, yes, I need to move forward and I'm going to be moving forward, but I can't move forward with the fear, or else that fear will negatively alter the frequency of my desired reality. But I need to step with courage, and the only way you can do that is been concentrating on the courageous aspects of your life which may exist, which you probably don't see as such, but believe when I say it exists. That's number one. That is 1 out of 3. I was told that I wiped the board very sensually. Do you think that's true, AJ?
You do when you get that cloth.
So it's the cloth when it gets sensual.
Yeah. You know, someone said, I didn't save the comment, I like the way you talk, or keep talking like this, or something along those lines. I was like, what?
Somebody commented, yeah, just like that. And it was a white guy in the profile picture. I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, I don't know about all of that.
All right, cool. Number 2. The second reason why we self-sabotage, and this one is an unfortunate truth. I'm sorry in advance for this.
Who, what would What would you lose if you changed? Who would you lose if you changed?
Who/what would you lose if you changed? Serious question. You might be wondering, how does this lead to self-sabotage? And it's due to the fact of something that you may be unaware of. And that is, from a point of evolutionary psychology, humans evolved in groups. And because humans evolved in groups, any time that we weren't in a group, it signaled death to our minds, hence why exile is a punishment. The moment that part of you is in a group, the moment you're in a group, the group is based upon conformity. Everybody has to be the same, that's why it's a group. And in return for that particular degree of conformity, you get approval. Approval is interpreted as love by your evolutionary brain, the basal ganglia, which is the oldest part of your brain, also known as the reptilian brain. And the moment you do that, you have to understand something very, very technical. And that is the fact that who/what would you lose if you changed? What you don't realize is that in order to go somewhere you've never been, you need to become someone you've never been. And that's to borrow that down. And that somebody that you're going to become has a completely different frequency. And because it has a completely different frequency, it has a completely different reality. And because it has a different frequency, the things that it's going to keep and the things that it's going to move towards, it's not going to be where it is right now. And part of those things includes people. More often than not, when I talk with clients, and you know, my clients range from 6 to 8 figure entrepreneurs, Hollywood actors, athletes, so on and so forth. Anybody who wants to reach a particular degree of excellence in any capacity is going to have to come to an understanding that who/what would you lose if you changed? Approval is based upon conformity. Change is in direct opposition to conformity. Change, conformity, they're complete opposites of each other. You're no longer going to conform. You're no longer going to conform. And because you're no longer going to conform, you are going to upset an entity, the societal hive mind. There's a societal hive mind entity that you can conceptualize as it wants everybody to be in line. It wants everybody to be in line. The moment that somebody pokes their head up, they get hammered in. It's a good hammer.
How's that?
It's a hammer.
That hammer is definitely not sturdy. I'll tell you that. Why is it bent like that?
So it's a village hammer. Anyways, that hammer wants to hammer that individual back into a line with everybody else. And because it wants to keep everybody in alignment, everybody at the same level, and once again, the universe is a blind intelligence, just like the old frequency. It likes energetic equilibrium, which is balance. Energetic equilibrium is keeping everything at balance because the universe is a system of laws. Because it's a system of laws, just like any humanistic laws, it likes efficiency. And because it likes efficiency, it likes repetition. And because it likes repetition, it wants everything to be in alignment at the same place. And because it likes that, the moment you begin to decide that you want to be this nigga that creates your desired reality, whether that's to move to a healthy relationship, whether that's to increase the amount of money you make in your business, whether that's to have a different health, whether it's to get promoted in your job or to get a job, whatever it may be, the moment you do that, you're going to upset the balance of the universe because you're no longer going to be in a form of energetic equilibrium in line with everybody else. What you're actually going to begin to do is to break the conformity that your brain, evolutionarily wise, has began over hundreds and thousands of years to mold itself to, which is, let's stay in a group, because when I'm not in a group, I don't die. Wait, when I'm not in a group, I die. Yes. And change and conformity are completely in opposition to each other. But then metaphysically, the universe also wants to keep, so here's the thing, times two. The universal hive mind, or the societal hive mind, wants to keep you in alignment because it's got everybody calibrated at the same level and it wants its own convenience. But then the groups that you're in, your friends, your family, they want you to be the same as them too. Why wouldn't they be? They want you to all be in the same. And unconsciously, what you don't realize is that that particular degree of seeking love and approval and conformity is in direct opposition with your desired reality. Because I can guarantee your desired reality is nothing like your current reality. Which means on an unconscious level, your mind has it associated that when I elevate and move to a new reality, I'm going to lose my current frequency. My current frequency comes with people. Hence why in the ends, they say to you, oh, you changed. Oh, you switched up. Yeah, you're moving Hollywood. Some niggas are more afraid of that than jail. I'm not even joking. Because look at the things we do for conformity and approval of those around us. People will kill, quite literally, for approval. But the moment that you no longer begin to fit in to the status quo, your mind says, shit, death. Because this is evolutionary how we wired. This is how we evolved, right? Groups means life, individual means death. So when you become individualistic and you no longer begin to conform and you actually begin to change, there's a part of your mind that doesn't like change, because change, once again, is associated with death. And because change is associated with death, why would your mind want to let you change? So it self-sabotages to keep you the same, so it can avoid the pain of what it has associated with death. And that's on a societal level, on a humanistic level, on a social level. But then on an energetic level, the universal hive mind entity wants to keep everybody in line. There's a reason there's something called the status quo. And people think the status quo is not something that exists on a social level, but you don't realize as above, so below, as within, as without. We are microcosms and macrocosms of the universe. So coming to that understanding, the status quo doesn't just exist on a social level, it also exists on a metaphysical level. And it exists on the metaphysical level as a literal entity that wants to keep everybody in the same line. And anybody that challenges that line will be brought back into line. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Changing. It's a bit uncomfortable. Because unconsciously your mind says, yeah, but if I move towards my desire, and this is all unconscious, you don't even realize it. You think, I just want my desired reality. And it's just all good and sweet sugars and rainbows. But you don't understand, on an unconscious level, your mind knows when you enter your desired reality, you're not going to be able to hang around the people that you currently do. In fact, will those people look at you the same? And if they don't look at you the same, how's that going to make you feel? Because what hangs in the balance is love. But do you want the love of those around you if it's conditional upon you staying exactly where you are? Is that love? Or is that control? People say fear is how you control humans. More humans are controlled by love than fear. Because babies aren't born with fear. They're born with love. And their first thing, in most cases, that they're given is love. So love is the biggest controller. But you don't realize how the love of those around you is actually exactly what's holding you down without you even realizing. And is it truly love if it's on the basis that you stay the same and you don't change? Have you worked that hard to stay the same? And I'd like for you to write this down. Maybe even leave it in the comments. Who would you lose if you changed? Would it be your friends? Would your cousins look at you different? Would your siblings look at you different? Would your parents look at you different? And if they looked at you different, why is that the worst thing ever? But it is the worst thing ever. Told you, the worst thing you can say to a nigga is you changed. You might as well shoot. You'd probably rather be shot 10 times than you say, you switched up on a man and still you changed. Without realizing that it's conditional. And it's conditional because at the same time, they're adhering to the status quo entity. That's not them talking, that's this talking. It's talking through them. It's talking through them. That entity doesn't want you to change. It doesn't want you to go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. It wants you to stay. It wants you to stay exactly where you are. It not only wants you to stay where you are, it wants you to stay there for life, for its own energetic equilibrium, for its own convenience. And then it will enter people and they'll have the desire to do the same. And it gets even worse. For most people, and I'll speak in the context of, in fact, two perfect examples. So let's say in the context where you want to materialize more money, you want to manifest more money, of course. Don't play with me, especially if you're black. You know, the moment you start making money, your family's gonna look at you like a walking bank account. Unconsciously. So there's an aspect of you that then wants to do what? Avoid being used as a bank account. Avoid that particular responsibility because you're already way down by the responsibilities you currently have. So if you made more money, you know what that would already be like. Or in the context of relationships, let's say you want to get into a happy, healthy relationship. You know that everybody around you with a fucking toxic relationship would be like, you think you're better than us. Well, you think that's gonna last? It's the same entity, the status quo entity, that wants to keep everybody at the same energetic form of equilibrium for its own convenience. So there's only one way that you can really do that. There's only one way you can really do this. Break this. And this will complete 2 out of 3. AJ, bro, you gotta watch Solo Leveling. Please, bro.
I'll give it a go.
Please,
I'll
bro.
give it a go.
I'm begging you, bro.
But there's Hunters in there, bro. I've already watched Hunter.
No, bro. Please, just watch it.
I'm tired show.
Bro,
man.
just watch it.
Why they still doing Hunters, man?
Bro, just watch it.
I might rewatch Death Note.
Yeah, that was hard. It's not even the best though. It's one of the best. But it's
I
not.
can't lie, Death Note is the best so far.
Bro, you've
Hunter
watched
x Hunter.
You've watched like 2 animes, bro. Wrap
Hunter
it
x
up.
Hunter is second.
Bro, you're an amateur. Relax.
Yeah, Death Note was really good.
Yeah.
Real good.
All right.
Real good.
My goodies. My good. Tell you that it's like right. By the way, guys, even though I'm giving you this information, you're actually going to have to be somewhat introspective because I can't tell you the thoughts that you're having. This isn't like other videos where I can give you a template on what to do. Well, in a sense, I am giving you a template, but this is going to have to be personalized to you because what you don't realize, especially when we're talking about self-sabotage, is that your reasons for not moving forward isn't going to be like mine. It's not going to be like AJ's. It's not going to be like somebody else's. It's going to be completely personalized and tailored to your life. Hence why you need to ask yourself, who or what would I lose if I was to enter my desired reality? Would it be my friends? Would it be my family? Would it be this? Would it be this? Would it be that? Would it be this? Would it be a particular thing that I'm doing that would I have to stop doing? Right? Only you know, especially with your old frequency at the start when I said that it associates fear with success. So your mind unconsciously seeks to avoid success, to avoid fear, to avoid that pain. What are you afraid of when you're moving forward? That's something that you're going to have to know. And I trust that you're more than intellectually capable of doing that. I swear there was a comment about a guy calling me a tub of lotion.
Oh my gosh, let me find it. Let me find it.
I remember
Oh.
seeing it and just thinking, what?
Yeah. It goes. My theory.
His theory. What's his name? Bayma.
Poor but not rich.
Poor but not rich.
Yeah.
That's a hard name. I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
Nero is actually a tub of moisturizing cream from the dimension of creams who quantum leaped into our current reality to teach us this divine knowledge, but is secretly plotting to capture all life form on Earth in order to create a hybrid cream X Earthlings species to assert dominance in his own reality.
We need to find him.
Very well written paragraph.
We need to find him. He's going to expose us. We need to find him. He said, I'm a tub of lotion.
We need to get rid
That
of him.
quantum leap from a planet of tub of lotions?
Yep. We need to get rid of him. He knows too much.
We do. What's his name? Poor but not rich.
Poor but not rich.
Count your days, buddy. Count your days. Count your days. That comment was hilarious.
It is funny. I don't know how you even came up with that.
I don't even know where your mind is to even get there. But I'm with it. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Pause.
What?
It's a bit disturbing, that is.
What? I can't even like a guy's humor anymore.
A guy? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's up to you.
That's definitely written by a guy. That's definitely written by a guy.
100%.
That's definitely written by a guy. The final way that you self-sabotage is due to a lack of self-worth. Understand something very important. Metaphysically, your self-worth will be the ceiling of anything you can materialize in reality. You can do affirmations like a psychopath. You can listen to subliminals like it's your favorite fucking son. You can do vision boards like you're a witch. I'm joking, guys. Come on, I'm joking. You can visualize, you can do anything that you want to do, but unfortunately, none of these things are going to work due to a particular degree of lack of self-worth. Your self-worth is the ceiling of anything that you'll be able to materialize. If your goal is here and your self-worth is here, you're going to be like this, and you're not going to be able to get above it, and so you can expand your self-worth due to the fact that your self-worth is what you believe you deserve. Now, what you want and what you believe you deserve are two different things. And you need to begin to isolate those, because all of us want prosperity and success and so on and so forth. But most of us, due to the way that we were raised, due to the experiences that we've had, our self-worth has been diminished in ways that we can't even begin to understand. Now, self-worth being the ceiling of anything that you ever materialize in reality, understand that your self-worth is closely linked to your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is directly interconnected to your confidence. Confidence is the most important word when it comes to manifestation, because confidence allows the strength of your frequency that you're emanating to the universe be strong. Now, due to the fact that self-esteem is based on self-trust, then it all becomes a question of self-trust. This is where the cycle begins. Your self-trust determines your self-esteem. Your self-esteem determines your self-worth. Your self-worth determines the ceiling of everything that you can materialize in your reality. So what is your self-trust dependent upon? Your self-trust is your ability to follow through on the things that you know you should do and the things that you know you shouldn't do, and staying away from those things. What you don't come to an understanding of is that self-trust is a currency, and self-trust is a currency that eventually becomes self-esteem, and that eventually becomes confidence, and confidence is directly interconnected to your particular degree of self-worth. The more confident you are, the more you're going to feel like you deserve. But if you don't have confidence, that's because you have a low sense of self-esteem. If you have a low sense of self-esteem, it's because you have a low particular degree of self-trust. And if you have a low degree of self-trust, that means that there's things you know you should be doing that you're not doing. Whether that's cleaning the clothes out of the closet, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's eating more healthy, whether that's not talking to this person, whether it's doing this, whether it's doing that. I can't tell you what that's going to be. Extrapolate it to your life. But then simultaneously, there's things that you know you shouldn't be doing. And because you know you shouldn't be doing them, when you do them, you deplete your self-trust. And when you deplete your self-trust, you deplete your self-esteem. And when you deplete your self-esteem, you deplete your confidence. And you deplete your confidence, you deplete your self-worth. And you deplete your self-worth, you lower the ceiling of the things that you can materialize in reality. So let's say your desired reality is up here, but your ceiling of anything that you can materialize is here. Anytime that you try go, it's like, nope, 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 nope. Because you cannot get above your self-worth. And what people don't realize is that you don't have a problem. It's not that you're not listening to the right subliminal. It's not that you're not saying the right affirmations. It's not even that you're not visualizing correctly or not meditating correctly. It's that you're unconscious of the fact that self-mastery is a prerequisite to mastery over reality. You can't tell me that you in reality are one and think you can master reality without mastering yourself. Because if you can't trust yourself, then how can the universe trust you? That's a bar that down. How can reality trust you to guide it when you can't even trust yourself to do the things you know you should do and not do the things you know you shouldn't do? And due to that particular degree of lack of self-worth, then something dangerous begins to happen when we're talking about self-sabotage. Pay attention. So let's say the cycle begins here from the things you know that you should do. Let's say there's things that you know you should do, but you're not doing them. There's things that you know you shouldn't do, but you're doing them. That equates to a particular degree of low self-trust. That low self-trust becomes a low self-esteem. That low self-esteem becomes a low degree of confidence. Confidence being the most important word when it comes to manifestation, eventually becomes self-worth. That means you have a low self-worth. If you have a low self-worth, you have a low ceiling of what you can materialize. And if you have a low self-worth, you have a low ceiling of what you can materialize, which means that the universe, because it is you, because the universe is you, will bring you down to where you, let's say, believe you should be. And that's how the self-sabotage comes in. It will quite literally lower everything that you can begin to experience in reality, because deep down, that's where you feel like you should be. And you feel like you should be there because you're doing things that you know you shouldn't and not doing things that you know you should. Then you don't trust yourself. Then you have low self-esteem. Then you have low confidence. Then you have a low self-worth. Then the ceiling is low. And because the ceiling is low, it will bring everything down to where you deserve you should be. So the only way to increase your self-worth is to, one, come to your true recognition. Because when we're operating from a particular idea that we have a low self-worth, we're kind of misidentified. And we're misidentified with the ego instead of who we truly are, which is the materialization of God. And once you align yourself to that particular identity and understand that beyond this third dimensional realm and time-space constraints and polarity and all of these other illusions that will make us think that we're humans as opposed to God's having a human experience, you then will believe that you deserve things that you shouldn't be. But when you're operating from your true self, which is that particular aspect of the materialization of God, then you'll be close to your infinite self. When you're close to your infinite self, then there'll be nothing that you don't think you don't deserve. But you can only do that if you align with that. And the only way you can do that is by kind of spending less time externally and more time internally. And that's by pulling away from the world and allowing yourself to immerse yourself into the aspect of you that is closest to God. Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. Before you can know God and know who you truly are from your truest identity, esoterically, as it says in Psalm 46:10, you first must be still. You must make time to do nothing and make time to be still. Then it's just a matter of doing everything that you know you should and not doing everything you know you shouldn't. And this is going to require a particular degree of discipline. One of the most hated words in the manifestation space. Nobody likes that particular concept of discipline. But how can you discipline reality if you can't discipline yourself? Let's write that down. Ironically, the more that you begin to discipline yourself, the easier it is when it comes to disciplining reality, and the more confidence that you have when it comes to materializing your desired reality. Confidence is the most important word when it comes to manifestation. There's people who don't give a fuck or know anything about manifestation that are materializing their desired reality just because they're confident. And they're confident because they're doing things that they know they should and not doing things they know they shouldn't, whether it's replying to an email, whether it's replying to a client, whether it's whatever it may be extrapolated to your particular condition. I can only think in terms of my clients, but of course yours may be a love interest, it may be work related, it may be monetarily related. Only you know that. And that's the only way you're going to defeat self-sabotage across the three aspects of, one, your old frequency that will do nothing more than terrorize you and project that fear onto you when you begin to move forward. So you associate that particular degree of success with fear. So you need to keep moving forward regardless, but after altering the particular polarity of fear that you're experiencing into courage. And the second thing is what or who would you lose if you was to gain your desired reality and become hold on, no, I forgot something. I forgot something. I forgot something important for the second point.
By the way, I think there's 2 minutes left on this SD card.
Say less.
After that, it will stop filming.
Say less. Don't worry.
One minute 30.
See, now I'm cleaning. Now I can't even clean a board the way that I normally clean it.
Bro's putting in that work.
You know, like that. So guys, for the second point on what or who would you lose if you gain, the one thing that I forgot to say, so I'll wrap it up with this, is that you must become unapologetically okay with losing the particular individuals that you might lose. You must be okay with losing the individuals that you might lose and their love. And the only way you can do that is by coming to the recognition is that they truly loved you. They would love you entering your desired reality because it would benefit them simply because you're an amazing person. And yeah,